seat this morning.
Maybe. Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Danielle Delinky with Silverton Mortgage, and just want to give you an update on interest rates. They're coming in about 6.5% or so this week. We're expecting them to be a little bit lower, but it is what it is, so.
Yeah, it's been interesting because, I mean, we're in some cases, it's pushing 7, it's getting close to 7 again, which is what we were seeing last fall, late fall. And that's been a little unexpected. We figured that by now you'd be seeing that downward trajectory. But like Daniel said, 6.5 is still in view. It's kind of a bummer because I've got a client that we had approved with Silverton Secure for months, so he's fully underwritten. And now he's finally found a house. And so we're going to talk to him today and say, hey, you know, Justin, your interest rate's going to be X. Is that my phone? It's a sports headline. How about that? Sorry, Jim, is that you? But anyway, so, you know, it is what it is. The good thing is, and Daniel, we were talking about this earlier, we have the refi special. So if somebody closes with us now and interest rates do drop, they can refi with us, and we'll be charging no lender fees, and we'll pay for the cost of the appraisal. So that's a couple $1,000 savings right there, and that really kind of helps some people stomach the higher rate than they expect.
And that's within 3 years of their closing date.
Right.
So.
All right, I got a question about interest rates because I know that at the beginning of the year, forecast was that we'd probably be, or wishful hoping, you know, magic 8 ball, kind of saying, hey, we're probably going to be at 5.5 at the end of the year is what I heard.
Well, we heard in this room somebody say lower than that, I believe. They said 4, didn't they?
That by now.
Well, but it looks like it might not be trending. I know that inflation's still kind of trending up, and I know that also from what I've heard is that inflation actually tucks up too much more, that people are going to start backing off because they don't want to stall out the economy. So if this is like mid-year, kind of looking towards Q4, maybe Q1 of next year, what would if I were to put you on the spot, say magic 8 ball, what would you guys think that interest rates would be, or at this point would you say I don't want to even put my name to anything?
So my magic 8 ball is actually a bowling ball.
All right.
And it doesn't pop up any messages. I can't get anything out of it. So especially on interest rates.
So it's busted.
Let me say this. Let me say this. First of all, the news headlines are so weird because when we read the news headlines in the industry, they talk about inflation numbers improving. And then when you look at news headlines, they talk about them getting worse. So the reality is, I think the people in the mortgage industry would say that inflation is lowering and that we should see interest rates coming down. Exactly when and how, and there's so many different variables that happen. I mean, all it takes is some international conflict and all bets are off, right? So, I mean, I'll be honest with you, Gabe, the way we do it right now is, Mr. Smith, I can tell you what interest rates are today. I don't know what they're going to be in the future. But I know this, if they go up, you're going to be glad. If they go down, you get to refi. You win either way because house prices are going to continue to go up. That's the thing we do know in our area. So, all right, good question. The other thing that I wanted to mention was the movie party. We had 42 realtors who participated in that, who used that as a marketing tool for your database. We had 42 realtors and we ended up with about 165 people that showed up at the movie. So congrats for y'all who participated, and it was a privilege doing that for you. Any questions? Congrats to Rusty on getting the house under contract in Woodstock. That was a nice one. Woodstock's a hot area. I don't know if you guys know that. Anybody know that? Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right, Y4C2Ts. This is our belief system, and we certainly, in this office, we need to live these, not just talk about them. That's why every single week we talk about them. And who would like to pick out their favorite one today? Brenda, pick your favorite one today.
Maybe pick last week.
Did you last week?
Yes.
So I'm gonna come back to somebody else. What's your favorite one today, Paige Morgan?
Commitment in all things.
Why is that?
When you have a bagel in your mouth, it's hard to talk. Because it takes that. It takes that in marriage and raising children. It takes that in business. it's a commitment. What are you committed to? And, are you a long-term committer? Or are you a short-term committer? And I think that that's something you and I talk about. And we talk about that a lot, and in a lot of different ways. And I think it's probably the most, today, it is most prevalent to me.
Paige, we're talking about the interest rates, we're talking about what's going on with that. The thing is that we still are selling a fair amount of houses right now. We're back to the numbers for this month that we hit 3 years ago. 3 years ago was our what? Best year ever. So guys, just realize people are selling real estate right now. That's not as prolific as it was a couple of years ago, but we're selling a lot of real estate right now. And you usually need to find your pie, your share of the pie. But is it harder to find that share right now? Is that true? 100%. Is it hard? It really is. That's the right job. The last time I looked, jobs that pay well are hard. So that's a great for that. I love the word commitment in all things, not in some things, in all things. What was it that agent said? The only difference between me and you is I'm willing to do the activities you're not willing to commit to. That's still true, guys, even today, which I love that. Thank you, Paige. Agent staff highlight. I love these. I'm learning about some of our agents and learning some new names, which is cool. So who do we have today?
Oh.
Me.
It's your birthday.
Well,
Yeah. Did y'all like my high school picture up there? Hey guys, anyway, occupation, elementary school principal, coach, and teacher. That is true. I was the only one to come out of music school with a degree in music and elementary education. My first job was coaching football. It was. I was at an elementary school, private school in Memphis, Tennessee, and I coached football. It was my first job. And so, and the next year I was athletic director with a music degree. So that was the first. But anyway, joined Cato because they have been working on getting me to Cato for more than 10 years. And I finally said yes. And 40 years plus in real estate. And I've already told you about my degree in music, but I became a football coach. It was great. It was changing my life, guys. I met one of my first mentors at this Presbyterian Day School that changed my life forever. He had great integrity, which I love. So thank you for doing that. And Brenda Bashara. Oh, we love Brenda. Previous occupation, mortgage lending. She likes details. Joining Cato because I love the culture of learning, sharing, and helping others, which she does. 20 years in real estate. Interesting fact, English was my second language. My first language was Spanish. I'm a Cuban American. We love Brenda, and she certainly has an incredible team here. So Brenda, glad to feature you today also. Power Hour. Every Wednesday. I did it last Wednesday. Rob was out of town. But Rob, tell us about Power Hour.
Power Hour. So 9 to 10, we're doing script practices, one-on-one script practicing. And it'd be a different script each week. It's really important to know your scripts, guys. It just grounds you in your conversations, and it's not always that phone call or the script you're working on. It comes into other things, working on closing and getting people to really open up and ask good questions. And then we follow that up with why you're practicing it, so you can do lead gen.
For example, when your client says to you, I like you, I like the company, we love Keller Williams, they sell a lot of real estate in East Cobb, but this other person was willing to take it for 4% rather than 6%. Are you willing to take it at 4%? Someone give me a script of why what would you tell a seller? Wow.
Other than commission, is there any reason?
What'd you say?
I said, other than commission, is there any reason why you wouldn't hire me today?
All right, tell me what y'all think about that.
Love
She
it.
asked a what? A question.
Open-ended question.
Other than commission, are there any other things? Very good, I like that. I love questions you all. All right, what else would you say? Rusty?
Jim, let me just ask, are you interested in making the most money possible or saving money?
I want to make the most money possible.
So, as we went through the steps, that was just, I'm not going all the way, but that's how I would start it. It's more about the value that you're going to get for the money you're going to save.
I got
I
one.
understand that. And pause, I understand that. But I also bet that you can find somebody that'll take it for 3%. And then I have the script that goes on from there. But I think reaffirming what they've said and agreeing with them is probably the most important thing that you can do at that point.
So when you agree with them, Paige, are you giving them lead to say, gosh, should I do it before? Should have asked for 3?
I think they understand immediately that I'm not. But I mean, I think that you can't just argue. And so, affirming someone's beliefs or feelings is important.
I
And
think
when you
this is-
say, I agree with you, or I understand, that is an affirmation that you've heard what they said and you agree with them, because there's nothing to disagree with. And I go even a step further and say, you probably could find somebody that'll do it for 3. And then I use my very best script that I have had my whole life, and that is,
Hardest thing we do as agents is do what?
Listen.
Talk too much. Talk too much. That's what we do. We talk way too much. But being quiet sometimes. There is an agent here, I'm not talking to her about this, but she told me her favorite script is, no, I will not do that. Because she's quiet. Or she throws me under the bus. My work will not let me. Not allow me to do that. So guys, you gotta do a script that worked well for you, but Rob hasn't done do what though? No,
Come to script practice, and you need to know your scripts and have 2 or 3 different ones all the time. So one of the things is this is coming up more and more, right? Because we just said earlier, Jim said, is it harder to get deals right now, right? So another good comeback to that is go, that's very interesting. How did you get them to do that? Well, I just asked. That's interesting. Isn't it weird that you just out negotiated your own agent? And if they're going to give away their money that quickly, what do you think they're going to do when it comes to negotiating for your money? So you have to change it a little bit and ask questions, but it's coming up more and more because there's people out there.
so guys, anyway, guys, come to script practice. I mean, I did it last week and I had the most fun being in there with great script practice. Kadiatu helped me with that day. Thank you, Kadiatu, and we enjoyed doing it. That is 9 a.m. script practice, and then you're going to move on to actually doing some lead generation activities. Group coaching, lead generate in your sleep with Command Smart Plans. Guys, if you're not doing Command Smart Plans, you're probably not doing any smart plans at all. Get smart, learn how to do them. Wednesday, May 24th, 11-12, Carrie Quash is doing that. And Carrie is the dean of all this. She understands it better than almost anybody else does. You know, she went to Georgia Tech, and so she's a really detailed person. That's an assumption I have. But anyway, Carrie Quash is in person and in Zoom, and again, that is Wednesday, May 24th, which is tomorrow, which is cool. Career night, Rob.
Career night is this Thursday from 5 to 6. We actually had it for tonight, and Father of the Year. It's my son's graduation tonight. So obviously, if I still want to be married, I'm going to be at my son's graduation. So Thursday night, I highly recommend you guys to be talking to friends, family who want to get in real estate. It's a really easy way to get in, especially with the K-score, and build your profit tree.
All right, guys, take your phones back out now. Go to your social media posting and just ask the question, would you like to be in real estate? Let me know. Private message me. We're having a career night, whatever you want to say. But guys, that is an easy way to find someone that wants to get into real estate, and we'll have them out that night, guys. So put it on your social media right now where someone may respond to, and you can send them to Rob because he will close them. Thank you so much, Rob, for doing that. Group coaching, one-stop custom plan for your seller, Wednesday, May 31st, 11 to 12. Tell me about this. It
This
is,
is one of our vendors, Caring Transitions.
What?
There's the list of all the things they can help your clients with and the kids of your clients, because they specialize in seniors. Please come, because she came last month and nobody showed up, so.
guys, please come with this because it'll give you one more tool to help you do more real estate. So please come, put it on your calendar. Lunch and learn. Let's talk about diversity and inclusion. Workshop, the roundtable, when and where. It's going to be the Lead Gen Room, and it is on March 29th at this office from 11:30 to 1. Connecting religion to real estate. Educate yourself about the different religions. So when you meet someone that is a different religion than you understand where they're coming from, guys. It's not all about you. So please put that on there. This will be a really good discussion. You'll learn a lot. It is a lunch and learn. So please put it on your calendar.
What's the date again?
What'd you ask?
March 29th is past.
March?
May 29th.
May 29th, I'm sorry, May 29th, yeah.
Kimberly was typing quickly.
Oh, that's Memorial Day.
Is that-
I'll tell you the right date.
One of those.
Is that Memorial Day?
So,
Yes.
Yes, it is.
June 1st, sorry, I'm way off. June 1st.
June 1st, okay, Kimberly, that's okay. I love when I catch Kimberly making a mistake, there's not many of them. She really does, okay. All right, guys, please put this on your calendar, Feeling Smart. This is one of the most fun things we did in the past couple of years, and that's trivia night. It's at Patty Jackson's house. We have a lot of fun, and so Saturday, June the 24th, from 6:30 to 9:30, trivia starts at 7:30. Prizes will be awarded, adults only, because you can bring your spouse, partner, or friend. Bring your own chair and your blanket and come and just have fun, guys. It'll be at Patty's house, and thank you, Patty and Alan Jackson, for being willing to have this for us. So come on, put it on your calendar. Lessons learned, Rob, you're up.
All right, so I get phone calls all the time, and Sherry gets the phone calls, and usually I'll answer the question. I feel really good about answering the question. And then I always will sneak into Sherry's office and go, this is how I answered it. I want to, get verification, right? And most times I'm right. So we had an interesting one last week. So one of our agents was dealing with somebody, and she had a buyer brokerage agreement with them. And then the client signed another buyer brokerage agreement with someone else and terminated. Okay? So, question is, when you terminate a brokerage agreement, and this will be the same for a listing agreement, if you terminate it, is the protection period still in force?
How you terminate? Who terminated? Yeah.
The client terminated.
Agreement 1 or agreement 2?
Yeah,
Right.
which one is?
How?
Actually, the answer would be the same for either one, but it's how.
How?
So, if you just terminate it mutually, right? So when you terminate something mutually, termination means that whole agreement is gone. From top to bottom is gone. If it's not mutual, protection period is still in place.
Same with the unilateral.
Right. So when my answer, they failed to ask the next question. Was it mutually or unilaterally terminated? So, the beauty about our office is, she and I, and Jim, and everybody else, we talk, right? So, I don't know everything. Jim knows most things, right? But I have resources around here. I can go to Art Green, I can go to other people in the office, because if you take our collective knowledge that we have here, it's one of the things that are so important that we have in our office, right? Laura Latham's here today. Thank you for coming, Laura. She's been here, what, 4 years now? And she's starting to engage and start coming back to meetings and everything. She and I talk all the time, and we're always like, hold on a second, let me think about that. Because It's by the contract, right? Not what you think or you want or anything. So that was my lesson learned. I learned something. Yes.
Well, I am confused because, because if it is let's say the buyer's contract, I cannot force the client to stay with me, so obviously he wants to finish, and I will agree that we finish. But if I already spend time showing them A, B, C properties, I think I should be protected for those A, B, C. I will let her go and no, but if she comes back before the 60 days to buy A that I just showed her last week, it's unilateral or not, but it's like, I'm not going to force her to stay with me. I would agree, okay, you're not happy with me, let's terminate.
So you're mutually, if you're saying, oh, okay, go ahead and everything, so that means you mutually are terminating.
Yes.
If you're saying, go ahead, go with somebody else, but listen, any of those houses I showed you before, that's a unilateral. Okay?
Okay. So,
And because what you want to do, what you're asking is, how am I protected?
yeah,
The protection period, let's say it was 45 days,
okay,
that would stay. If you mutually, so this is, you unilaterally, but this part of the agreement, right down there on the bottom, stays. This one, the whole agreement.
so when she sent it eventually just in the email, whatever, say it's a unilateral?
I would send one of these two. Because the email, right, doesn't convey whether it's mutual or
Right.
unilateral.
Right.
So there's two forms in the forms.
Okay, gotcha.
But in that case, if she's happily says, yes, I understand, not pleased with it, but I've showed you these 3 houses, should you declare those 3 houses like in writing, understanding that both parties,
Agree.
she
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
procuring
Yeah, you just
cause
have to put it in
potentially on those
writing.
3 properties.
Yeah, you could just pull up your showing list and say, you know what, we're cool, guess
Yeah.
what, we don't always get
Yeah.
along. Hey, if
You're the house.
here's the houses and you're good to go.
Okay.
Right? But when it's just the email,
Gotcha. It doesn't clarify anything.
so when you look at the unilateral or mutual termination, it's a long form. There's a lot of writing in it.
Yeah.
So you have to read the whole thing. But everyone thinks, oh, I'm protected. Not always. So it goes back to the form.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Last week I had a lady come see me in his office, does a bunch of business, and she said, Jim, I had this listing, and it was signed up, they want to market, but I had the listing signed, solid signed. So I mean, what he said, and the neighbor across the street came in the house and said, you have the wrong agent, this house looks terrible, let me give you my agent. The seller calls the agent comes in and does her market evaluation. Is that all legal?
Market, yes.
Yes.
That's correct, yeah. And she looks at the seller and says, but you need to probably talk to your other agent. Pretty much. She's already sent me something. She sent me a unilateral. He said, okay, tell me more. Sent me a unilateral termination on my listing. Should I sign that or not?
Who sent it?
This is the competing agent.
The competing agents in it. Ooh.
Exactly right. Should I sign it or not? And she says, no, you need to sign the mutual. What did the competing agent do wrong?
Oh, she crossed
Send
the
it.
line.
Huh?
She
Send
crossed
it.
the
Send it
line.
first of all.
Yeah, she crossed the line.
Because she did what? She gave this client what?
Advice.
Advice
And
and
you
knowing that it
cannot
was
do that.
listed.
Legal advice, right?
Knowing.
Legal advice. Legal advice. That's the right adjust.
She's not a lawyer.
Huh?
She's not a lawyer.
Well, exactly right. So I called the team leader and I said, this lady crossed, oh, Jim, she is our best example of doing things the right way. She's a 40 or 50 million business, whatever. I said, well, I don't really care. I can care less. But she crossed that line.
So what do
Cross
you
the
do
line.
there?
You cannot tell anybody how to get out of a contract. You cannot do that. That is not your business. You cannot, even if it's your own client, you can't tell them because you're not a what? You're not an attorney. So guys, be careful not to cross those lines. Guys, do what you do well. So guys, and then I'm gonna go to this next thing. Past week, two things have happened to me. I never had happened to me before. One of them was that we had a Louisa Nation, don't know who it is, I'm not gonna tell you, who supposedly committed murder. This agent supposedly killed his girlfriend, supposedly. Supposedly, now, it says supposedly, I don't know the case, but the other ones yesterday, I got served with papers last week when I was out of town, and I was accused of racketeering.
You old racketeer.
Racketeer,
You dog, you.
It's because you went to high school with Al Capone.
Exactly right. And basically, what that says is that I and my agent here, which we did talk about this, we conspired to basically defraud this lady of her money. So I've never been accused of racketeering. And we called our attorney and he laughed and he said, sounds good, but that's what an all-inclusive thing is. So this former girlfriend is suing me plus our broker director, plus the agent, plus the closing attorney. Racketeering. That's good. Who needs a pen?
Speak up, please, speak up, don't be shy, we need a pen. Jerry wants me to show this video.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm tripping. Hold on one second. Let's show this video. Hold on one second.
I'm coming soon and register status. No sound.
Day 2 on the registered status and coming soon status. These are both great tools that can help you build inventory and protect you as the listing agent. Registered status lets you obtain an exclusive right to sell agreement when the seller isn't quite ready to market it to the public just yet. With registered status, you will enter the listing matrix or remine. Only the listing agent and broker will be able to see the listing. Another option is called Coming Soon. If your seller wants you to market the property, but isn't ready for showings, Coming Soon status is a great choice. If you publicly market the property, you must enter the listing into Coming Soon or active status within 24 hours. Here are a few key differences between these statuses. With registered status, you cannot advertise, market, or show the property to anyone publicly or privately. You cannot put a sign in the yard with registered status. While your listing is in the registered status, days on market do not accrue. Registered status listings can only be removed by an FMLS staff member upon receipt of a signed termination agreement by the seller. With Coming Soon status, you can market the property in FMLS and to the public. However, showings are strictly prohibited while in Coming Soon status. Coming Soon listings are visible to other agents, broker portals, and through public websites. As far as days on market, don't worry. Just like registered, Coming Soon listings don't count towards days on market. With Coming Soon, you'll need to provide a Go Active date when entering the listing, and it's limited to 30 days or less. At midnight of the Go Active date, the listing will automatically change to active status. You can always change the Coming Soon listing to active sooner than the Go Active date if the seller is ready to start showing the property. These tools help you get ahead of an ever-changing market, and the registered status is only available to FMLS members in the state of Georgia. FMLS is the only MLS to provide you with this feature. For more information, please visit fmls.com/support.
All right. Before we move on to this, someone tell me what you got about. What'd you learn?
Wait, I have a question. When
All right.
did Coming Soon start going onto Zillow and Redfin and all of that too? 'Cause I've been seeing Coming Soon.
They go right away.
On normally, I thought that they would stay on MLS to agents only.
The
No.
status will be coming soon. Now, if a buyer sees it, right, calls their agent, says, I want to get in, and here's the call you're gonna get from the agent. I see it's coming soon. Can I get in? Can I get in before anybody else? That's what the problem is. People are letting people in while it's still coming soon status. And you're gonna get, they're cracking down on it.
Yes, sir.
My transaction coordinator used the restricted listing. You can't go from restricted to coming soon, so I don't recommend using it.
Registered.
Registered goes right to active, so coming soon seems, I don't know why anybody would use registered.
I will tell you why. Because FMLS then has a copy of the listing agreement, and then they're gonna get their money. That's why they developed this.
But you don't have to use it.
No,
Yeah,
you do
that's just, I don't know
not.
why we would
But
use
it
it.
is a protected period for you.
Yeah.
And once it's signed, you have how many hours? 48, so if you don't wanna put it coming soon, then what else are you gonna do? You have to put it registered. You have 48 hours.
But if you have an agreement signed, it's supposed
Right.
to go coming soon. If you don't have the agreement, then you do registered.
No,
I'm
if
trying-
you have the agreement signed and you don't wanna do coming soon, you have to do registered within 48 hours.
Why would somebody, I'm just asking, why would
If they
somebody
don't,
not?
if the
want
house
to
is
come
not
soon?
ready
It's
to
not
go
within,
live.
it's like 6 months from now.
Like say you
But
you
coming
sign
soon, how long
today,
could you be in
you
coming
have the
soon?
48 hours, but
30
then if something happens.
30 days.
But they also say you cannot present offers to your seller. Tell me what's wrong with that?
We have to present all.
You have to present all offers, including verbal ones. You present all offers, not some, then all offers.
I got in a real bind on that on a property that I closed yesterday. I mean, the agent sent me an offer while we were incoming soon, and I had told her, you can't come in, we're incoming soon, all showing start, blah, blah, blah. She sent an offer, a blind offer, and I said, I will present it to my seller. I presented it to my seller took it.
They're trying to, the MLS is to make it fair. And what's wrong with fair?
It's not perfect.
What'd you say? And that's a great question, what is fair? And so they're trying to make things fair. The guy says, well, I've said beautifully, they're looking for you right now. They're looking for you, they're trying to catch you doing that wrong. So when I complain about it, they will come after you and they will find you, that's what they want to do. And so guys, eventually, my opinion, you cannot be fair. And I don't know how you tell a seller, this is Jim's opinion, my legal opinion is just my opinion before you, I don't know how you tell a seller that you cannot walk across my threshold. I don't know how you do that, because that's my opinion, but that's what the rule is, and we gonna follow those rules? Yes, because why? Well, let's make the rules, we're gonna follow the rules because we wanna get paid, right? Something like that, just realize, yes, ma'am.
You still have to present verbal offers?
Yes.
If I look at you and hey,
Have no change.
would your seller take $450 for this $650,000 house? And you laugh and say, no, but should I say I have $450 all cash for you on? Should I tell them? All offer, including verbal ones. Good question, Angela, you are awake. Yes, ma'am.
So if your seller is really pally with all the neighbors and they're all coming to look with, just, oh yeah, come and look what I've done. And then somebody likes it, how does that work? Like, if he's showing the people himself, like his neighbors.
So
Oh, yeah,
Sharon
come see what
covered
I've
that
done.
in the splash last week. Once you have a signed agreement, it does say in the contract that the seller is not to advertise the property. Of course, you can't stop them from when you're over here and they're wherever they are. You can't control what they're gonna do. But it does say, don't advertise because I'm your agent. We can only control what's in control.
Like in Paige's case, what's gonna be the outcome of that? How does that,
Oh, she told me.
We closed yesterday.
also no issue with MLS?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
And I'm expecting it because it was a hot property and there were agents that were wanting to get in And I had told everybody, no, you can't get in, no, you can't get in. And I put it in FMLS to make sure that FMLS got their money. I changed it instead of withdrawing it during coming soon, which a lot of people are doing, and FMLS isn't getting paid. And that's why they're doing everything. It's not for the good of the agent, in my opinion.
Yes,
Okay,
therefore,
yeah.
In my opinion, it's follow the money, but, I'm expecting to, get a call or an email, or Sherry will, or Jim will, about that particular one. Because what they're doing now, and I know this from an agent that it happened to, not me, but is if you put something in and it's 0 days on the market, then FMLS wants to see the contract, the purchase and sale agreement, the date of the purchase and sale agreement versus the date on the contract. And if you let people in before, you're in violation of the coming soon regulation. And what are they gonna do to you? I don't know. Who knows?
$500 to the person and they
Because
suspend your
if-
license.
If what?
They should list out what they,
$500, there's a fine for $500.
And
you
That's
lose
the
your
first time.
And then what?
And then if it
Suspend your
persists,
license.
Yes.
like
First
the
fine is
third,
500, the second fine is 1,000, the third time your license.
and they suspend your super.
yeah,
Well,
they
they
can suspend your
suspend
super.
your super key. They
It's
can't
super key.
suspend your,
Yes,
they
that's what I'm
can't
talking
suspend
about.
your license.
Your license
They're
is
not
not
correct.
Right.
So you won't have access to showing time.
Yeah, they're
or
not
going to
correct.
MLS.
Well, they're not correct, and that's, MLS is doing their best to try to make it to where everyone has a fair chance, as much as they can, to have equal access to all the properties. At the end of the day, the last time I looked, the owner's rights outweigh everybody's rights. And I will fight to the bill for Peyton, I know she followed the rules as she should. And I will go after the head of the MLS and I need to, because if you are following the rules and do what your soul tells you to do, as long as they don't conflict with what MLS says, then I will fight for you. And I know people in high places, yes, ma'am.
Paige, how many days before it was supposed to go to the market?
I listed it on Thursday, I listed it on Thursday, coming soon. And then I said that it would go active the next Thursday and the showings would start on Friday.
Okay, so I'm gonna wait.
That's coming soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I asked because we have up to 30 days, and so for a hot property, you don't wanna do 30 days
No.
because you're gonna get inundated with those phone calls.
Well, it's not even, it's not just that you'll get inundated, you lose the freshness of the coming soon. If it's coming soon for 30 days, you've forgotten about it. You know, but if it's coming soon and you're for one weekend, that's, it does, I do Thursday to Thursday because I've always done Thursday to
So
Thursday.
would you change it now with this incident?
No,
No. Because it's Greg versus FMLS. Greg says present all offers, FMLS says nobody crosses the threshold, but Greg's gonna win.
but
In that
who is
case.
FMLS? They have no, they don't have the power of the license.
They don't.
They do not. They can make a recommendation to Greg that they cannot do that. They are a,
Question, please. So is it that the house wasn't actually ready, or it's just part of your marketing strategy?
Yes.
No.
Well, the witness stand is the intent.
The intent. Well, Woody was still chopping up a hot tub on the back porch trying to get rid of it, so the house really wasn't ready.
Well, but you know, at the end of the day, they put blind offers, right? So blind offer, I mean, what can I say?
Yeah, they
The seller is the one who has the right to accept it.
That's my point.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Yeah, and I have,
yeah, you are
I
just,
have, it's not the right, it's the obligation.
Yeah.
I have the obligation.
you're not going to hold it
present.
until it's active, I mean, you have to present it, yeah, I
Correct.
think you were right. And the seller is trying to decide what he wants to do. Yeah. I think you're fine,
No, but I am fine with Breck,
yeah.
but I don't know about FMLS.
you guys, to be fair, we're making these rules is not some corporate Exxon headquarters it is brokers that represent large companies that are making these decisions, so they want to do what's best for the agent also. So it isn't like they're this bad mean group of guys and ladies that make these decisions that have nothing to do with real estate. It is somebody that runs a real estate company and they want what's best for their agents. So guys, just realize they're doing their best to make it as fair as possible. So guys, I was spending a minute that when I was at the team leader mega camp a few weeks ago, one of the things we talked about was what is your passion? And the question was that if you're out there selling and earning a living, you'll work hard because you want to make a living for your family. But if one of your family is very sick and needs an operation, you're going to do whatever it takes to find that money. So guys, I wanted to spend a little time, we did this actually in our ALC meeting a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to look for a few minutes to talk about what your passions are. So take your pencil, your pen, whatever, you need a pen, let me know. And I want you to write down what you are passionate about. What makes you get up in the morning that you're like, I'm really passionate about my family and my grandsons. So write down 3 things that you're like really passionate about. That if you got 10 million tomorrow from the Georgia lottery, you would start doing these passions of yours. So please write them down. Remember the old, when you're finished, put your pens down? What is that? About 1 more minute, guys. The ladies. Grace, hey, you're cheating.
Picture again? Oh my God, Grace. Right, we all know her.
All right, you all, the ones who finished, someone tell me what their number 1 passion is. You can just find it any way you want to, okay? Someone give me a passion.
My family is my number 1.
Say it again.
My family's number 1.
Why's that?
They're the reason.
Everything. I like that one. The more reason.
My daughter.
Your daughter? Why is that?
Why? Because she is, to me, she is the center of my life.
What?
You know, I to play around her. Unfortunately.
I like that. I like that. Who else? Who else will share what one of their passions is? Yes, Grace. I'll come back to Grace, yes.
Seeing my grandchildren regularly.
Ooh, I love that one.
I have my kids, my family, and my health.
Ooh.
Kids, because I feel like I live for them, my family, because I miss them tremendously. They're thousands of miles away. And my health.
And health is a big one, isn't it? Yeah.
And I mean like physical and mental.
As I was walking, I walk every morning about 5:30 in the morning, at 5:15, take my dog walking, and I just said, Lord, I'm so thankful I could walk. A lot of people that are my age, 72, they can no longer walk. And one of my good friends' aunts, she has ALS, and she cannot swallow and she cannot talk. She just can't feed to. She's my age. I think she's 2 months older than I am. So I just gave thanks. I'm just so thankful I could walk. All right, who else to share something?
Food to children.
What?
Food to children.
That is one of the, why is that important to you, Paige?
I'm not sure where it came from, because I've never been without food. But I don't know why it became such a passion. I guess thinking about children that, can you imagine laying down at night as a child and you can't go to sleep because your little stomach is growling so much? And can you imagine living in East Cobb and spring break comes along and everybody is on one side of the street is asking, are we going to Europe or just to the beach?
Yeah.
And on the other side of the street, they're saying, no breakfast or lunch for me and my little sister because I stuffed half of mine in my pocket for my little sister. Can you imagine that? And that was the thing that, and it happened right here in this room. We had a counselor come from one of the schools in our district and tell us that Thanksgiving was coming up and the kids were starting to cry that they were gonna be out of school for a week and have no school lunch.
I love that one. Who else would share something? Ma'am.
I guess kind of similar. I have my family, my husband and 3 kids, and then also teaching. I teach fitness classes, so fitness is a huge part of my life. And I just love my friends just laughing every single day, just laughter.
Anybody have something that's a little different than that?
Are we
Like
still on
share?
passionate or love?
Yeah, one, serving others, okay? Camilo?
Living in the USA, that's my passion.
Ooh, tell me why that's important to you.
So you were saying about the kids and everything, you know, every country has different, but every time that I travel, I went to Colombia last week and you see so many things that you say, my gosh, I live in a great country. You know, that I sometimes hear about complaints about this and that, division that happens in every single country, but still the way of living here is so great that you have to travel, you have to be an immigrant, you have to know people from other cultures to realize that you have so many great things. Yeah, we have problems here, of course, but at the same time, you realize that you're blessed of being part of this great country. You know, so it's amazing. So I'm passionate, really. Every time that I go out, I say I live in the US. And it's a great place to live for my son.
Were you born in the US?
No, I was born in Colombia.
When did you come to the US?
24 years ago, 2000, yeah.
So you know what it's like not to be in the country, don't you?
Say again?
You know what it's like to not live in the country, don't you?
Yeah. So I came just for 2 years, went to school, you know, and I was like, I don't see myself living in this country for 20 years when I saw the people in for that.
I love it.
Who else? I'm here.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
lucky guys that I'm here.
Similar family, I love, serving, I'm very interested in dogs, I'm also interested in helping kids and people who are food insecure, but music is a big passion of mine.
What is?
Music. So I've sung my whole life and and there's nothing like music that can, any kind of music, it can just make your day. It doesn't matter if it's, maybe you're in the mood for classical, maybe you're in the mood for the Beatles, maybe there's nothing like a good concert or a good piece of music to just really bring you out of a funk or take you back to a special memory or give you all those good feels.
You're not sure that love. I love great music. Can I control what great music is? And rap, excuse me for all you who love rap, my grandsons love rap music, just not my genre. Yeah, even Christian rap I love. So what else wants to share one? Rusty, yes.
So it's gonna sound superficial in the front, but fervent. But
You're not sure that passion also?
yeah, but there's a reason for that. I mean, I'm very I'm an introvert. I'm not an extroverted person. I use all my energy at work with my clients. But I don't like superficial conversation. I don't like things like that. I found that when my friends come over, we start doing bourbon, people start getting real, all the facades are soft, but they
Or
are.
more, we're up to 2 or 3 bourbons.
Well, I was gonna say, then they get to 4, and you don't know who the hell they become. 1 or 2 bourbons, people just get real and you have great conversation.
I love that one, bourbon one, I like bourbon also. Who else wants to share? Yes, sir.
Man, I guess I echo everybody, kind of probably starts off with family. And I put travel, I mean, my father's from Argentina, so I appreciate seeing other cultures and stuff. But when I graduated from college, kind of golf and surfing was like my main hobbies. And it's kind of evolved into photography some for my kids. But kind of touching on the bourbon, I appreciate something that has like a really nice process to it. If any of you guys have like a really nice watch, like a Swiss timepiece, I appreciate the mechanics that actually go into the backstory for that. The same way I appreciate a good scotch or a great wine, the way that somebody creates it and puts it together. And then the way that somebody puts like, great camera stuff together. Because I mean, lately with my kids, it's kind of become, they've become my favorite, victims to take pictures of. But, we do a lot of sports stuff or traveling or whatever. And I kind of appreciate doing some things that might be a little bit more unique than just your garden variety photos that we put in the photo albums and stuff.
Anybody else? Yes, ma'am, Brenda.
I'm most passionate about my faith, and
Okay.
because it pretty much guides everything else in my life, and then my
I'm sure
family.
too, yes. All right, so put that on a shelf 1 minute, and I heard a lot of the word family. We're gonna come back to it, okay? All right, so I love to write down 3 things that you just love to do. Like Rusty's is definitely gonna be drink a bourbon. Write down 3 things, and you and I like that. 3 things that you love to do in your free time.
Free time.
Yeah.
I just bundle bourbon with all the
What'd you ask?
3 things that I love.
That you
Things
love.
you love to do, you enjoy doing.
Really 2, assistant team leader, and then the other 2.
I love to, not who I love,
Oh,
okay?
All right. Someone tell me something they love to do. Like one of my things I love to do is go on river cruises, particularly in Europe. I love going on river cruises. It's one of my favorite ways to travel is river cruises. Okay. Who else would share something they love to do? Yes, sir.
I enjoy cooking on my green egg.
Ooh.
And I enjoy cooking. I enjoy nature, canoeing, fishing. And to my friend over here, I enjoy a good bourbon.
A good bourbon.
Bourbon and a green egg guy, we gotta talk.
There you go.
Exactly. Okay. Who else? Something they love to do.
Dance.
Dance. She loves to dance. I like that.
Travel and spend time.
Yes, ma'am.
I really like to do CrossFit.
Do
It's
what?
something that CrossFit.
Exercise.
Wow.
It's something that, the first thing that, came out in my mind is CrossFit. I'm not good at it, but, I like it. I really.
I love that one. Sir.
Obviously. So golf and my number 1 is being in a relationship with my friends. So, my dad passed when he was 60. I'm 56. Not that I only have 4 years left, but you know, what's so important, you know, I went away last week with all my buddies from California, and, you know, there was one or two not there anymore. And so we have this time, we're all gonna make our money. But what are we gonna do? So my theme is to live a great story with those people and barbecue.
Who else? Somebody love to do.
Travel.
What?
Travel.
What, in particular place, I mean,
No, anything that I can take my kids with me because it just opens. I see how they spend when they travel. Some family travel.
wow.
Yes, my daughter has been in 22 countries by the time she was 10.
Wow.
I love that traveling is an amazing thing to do. That's right. Well, I have friends that they keep going back to the same place all the time. My family loves to go to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Papa's go to Pigeon Forge. Why? Nothing there. But mountains, that's it.
Pancakes.
Huh?
More pancakes per capita.
Exactly, yeah.
More pancake houses.
And sometimes you wonder if I like pancake houses, so I go there. Okay, all right, who else has one they love? Yes, ma'am.
We have a lake house, but I love going on boat rides, just.
Boat rides.
In the first thing in the morning though, when there's no one out,
Yeah.
with a cup of coffee and just go around the lake, just nice and slow.
I love Lake Bill. I love the boats, it's fabulous. Who else? Yes, sir.
Backpacking, camping, hiking, just unplugging from everything.
What do you like about backpacking and camping? You like doing with others or just by yourself?
I've done both. I've gone to Yona Mountain by myself and like just throwing up a hammock for the night, and that was really fun. It's just like, I don't know, makes you feel like small and humble. No phone, no nothing.
Yes, ma'am, Grace.
I love to praise the Lord, because when there are those down times, when you have that time of praising, it really gets you going and motivates you.
What do you love to do?
I wrote, like golf with my dad and friends, and I also really like going to the lake.
By the lake, and swimming, skiing, what?
I like to wakeboard a little bit, but most of the time just sitting out there, putting anything down and hanging out.
Just be. I love that. Sir?
Anything new restaurants, new food, new travel vacations, anything new, I like to experience. First time things.
Okay, how many people here go to the same restaurants all the time?
Not my favorite.
Pretty much. I hate to go to, I love to go out to eat, as you can tell, and I hate to go to restaurants where the food's not good. I hate it. So I don't go to new restaurants. We went to Raisin River a few weeks ago, and it was just not good. I don't want to go back, maybe I had the wrong food that night. Because Ray Schoenbaum, I've known him for a long time, he don't have a great restaurant, but anyway, we're not going back anytime soon. But who likes new stuff? Who likes new restaurants all the time? I bet you do. Is that correct? You do. Who else? Like you really new people. These are probably the more adventurous ones where we that like new things, which I wish I loved more new things. But Gail and I like to go. Our favorite restaurant is Houston's.
But just by not going to new restaurants, you're missing out. How
I
can you
agree.
say? You say it's bad, you don't go and taste it.
I agree. 100%. Okay.
He doesn't want to find it done.
And you gotta choose something else on the menu.
When you do find it done, then
Yeah.
you wasted the
All
time.
right.
But you gotta
Anybody
do
else want to share something they love? That three things they love to do? Yes, ma'am.
I can't hang out with Rusty and his bourbon, but I do like a good red wine.
I love red wine.
Open it up, let it breathe for
I
a
got
while.
bourbon that'll remind you.
Really? Okay. All right, we'll
Tastes
talk
just
later.
like chicken. That's a good sales pitch.
After the third one,
It tastes
okay.
just like red
And the
wine.
third one. And the third one. All right. Anybody else?
Huh?
Jeff, what's your three favorite things to do?
So I put several, I put more than three because I couldn't decide. So in this, the first one, it's gonna sound corny, and so I just want to apologize for everybody, but serving others. That's why I do what I do. I love serving others, whether it's here or making breakfast with my wife. Yeah, so, yeah, serving others, serving others bourbon. I love doing that. So that's probably my number one. Number two, travel and laugh with friends, family, and customers.
You probably love going out to the beach kind of, don't you?
I do in the lake, and so.
Anybody else want to share something? Reed, what about you? And you can't say preach.
Okay, I'll take that off. No, I do, I'm kind of a little bit like what Grace said, but different. I like to study the Bible and theology, and the reason is because it adjusts my perspective. Because if I look at everything that's going on around me, it sometimes doesn't look very good. And to gain a God's perspective, as much as I can get that, which is very fragmentary, that's big. But I do like hanging out with people. I like good conversations where sometimes you don't agree, but you disagree politely and intellectually, where you can actually have a conversation and try to hear where somebody's coming from. And then to fall back on the lake thing, I just love to be out on the boat on the lake.
Okay. So, what? Anybody else? Katie, what do you want to do? Top two or three? Comment number one.
Exercise. And then family. And one thing I really, really love doing that I don't ever get to do is like go to a beach house with not just my family, but my extended, all of my family, and do puzzles and drink wine. Love it. Happens like once every 5 years. I should give on that.
Is anybody that's not sharing, would they share one of their passions? Someone that's not sharing. Yes, sir.
I didn't write anything down because I was on the phone. But one thing that I love to do that I try not to overlook is just going on walks. When my wife is like, yeah, let's go on a walk. Oh, I love it. On a nice evening, it's the best.
We're on walks. I love walks to myself. Yes, sir.
I think I'm gonna get real original, and because mine is pretty similar to everybody else's, but I'd say I love to not get shot at.
Why is that?
After spending a year in Afghanistan, you kind of get tired of it.
Wow. Yeah. Can you imagine that perspective, guys? I don't know what it's like for someone to shoot at me. I don't know what happened today for sure, but I don't know what it's like for someone to shoot at me. I don't get that. So anyway, that's a great one. I'm really sure. Who else?
I love play soccer.
What is that?
Soccer.
Really?
Soccer. Every week, every single week, I have soccer practice. I play with my son. I have 2 boys, so when I spend all the time with them, practice soccer.
Yes, ma'am.
I like to go to places, traveling, whether traveling, museums, whatever. I like to go to places. I like to do things with my hands, whatever it is, knitting, puzzles, whatever it is, it's always good. And I always like to learn new stuff and have new experiences, food or whatever it is. Life is too short to be limited to certain places. So if you ask me to go to the other side of Atlanta to experience a Korean restaurant, I will go and I try it. Yeah, that's what I like.
Who else has not said anything yet? I want to speak up. Mike, anything yet? Yeah, you read next.
Oh, boy. I actually had 3 things, but the last one sort of rounded up the first 2. Been a long time photographer. It's a country western song that was never written, so that's okay, but I do it as a hobby. And being able to travel to different places. But my last one was make somebody feel better when they chat with you or share an experience with you before they met you. I was lucky enough to go out to Death Valley late March on a photography workshop. And it was great. I mean, if you've never seen a place like that, it is known as the darkest place in this country. It's a place where you could walk out with 10 people and I would not see Jim. I could not see Jim's body from where he is right now. And this was like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. But what was interesting about the trip is I bumped into some really neat people. I'm sitting in a bar, and this kind of goes with what Reed said. Pardon? I bumped into when I got to the bar later that night, or actually before the Milky Way event. I was sitting in the bar, and I had my camera on the counter, and this young man was sitting next to me. You know, like most bars, you're going to keep your space, and I'm going to keep my space. But he asked me about my camera. And it would be easy to say, oh yeah, I'm gonna shoot with a XYZ. But that young man and I visited for about an hour. And he was telling me that he was going across the country. He's about my older son's age. And he was traveling the country. He was in sort of took a step back from his very good professional career in politics, DC. And it was just really cool. I don't know if I made him feel better, but it made me feel better that there's hope. And the world is pretty polarizing right now. And I think if we look up from our phones and give somebody a chance to chat, let them know about you. We never spoke anything but about life in general. And it was just, I'm finding that as I'm encountering more people, if I can make them just feel a little bit better than when we first started talking, maybe I'll feel better too.
Love that.
That's
Serving
awesome.
others, I like that. Laura, what about you?
Anything, spending time with friends and family.
Bring family.
Friends and family, helping others. I like to create, so taking a room and making it beautiful, or taking a blank, flower bed that needs work.
I have both of those. Flower bed, that brings some flowers, and my office.
Anyone else? Does he get a chance to speak, that like to share?
Ivan.
Ivan, you just been called out by Miss Arthurine. What's on your list, Ivan, besides spending time with your two key children?
I do enjoy walking, exploring, doing new activities, and food. I'm always up to trying something new. So I love food, especially food and spending time with friends.
All right, so I have a question for you. Look at your list of stuff that you've written down, and how many of those things are on your calendar right now? I'm getting shot, not on your calendar, thank you. How many are on your calendar right now? Because guys, if the things that are your passion are not on your calendar, shame on you. Rob told me 2 weeks ago he's not playing golf. I go, why not? It's true. True. Guys, but not on your calendar. Don't tell me you love to do them and you don't put them on your calendar. Because Keller Williams said, if they're not on your calendar, they do not what? Exist. And I'm gonna challenge you today to find one of your passions, walking with your wife, whatever, and put it on your calendar where you're gonna do that. And if it's going on a trip, go ahead and book the trip. Angela wanted to go to Egypt, and she put it on her calendar and did it for about $5,000. All the way over there, and what about that? Please put it on your calendar. All right, so I want to spend the next 4 minutes, and I want you to start thinking about what your big why is. Given all of these things, what you're passionate about, given all the things that you love to do, what is your big why? And I want to be a big why, basically, for coming to work and why you sell real estate. I want to be that big why. Because if you can figure out your big why, if I can work a little bit extra, then I can take that dream trip to Hawaii. If I can work a little bit extra and sell a few more houses, then I can take my wife and go to that really nice place we love to dine, which is about $400 for us to dine there, whatever it is. So I want you to work on your big why. Try to make it something that is less than 2 or 3 sentences. Try to make it within a sentence or two. All right, work on that, please. About one more minute.
Excuse me.
Are you all, who is brave enough, they think they know what the big why if they want to share it right now? Just me.
Number one, I wanna share this one because I need motivation.
'Cause what?
I need motivation. I need motivate myself. My big why is my daughter, Bethany. Why? Because she was premature when she was born, 2 pounds 7 ounces when she was born, really tiny little baby. And also, after she was born, 4 months old, my husband passed away. So I raised my daughter by myself, alone with little baby and those husband. And when she was in elementary school, I figured out that she has ADHD, really hard, and she always had, being in special education. And I was a really challenging time still. She's going to Japan for 3 months by herself, and she's living in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, basically. And she's going to college. She was, she's going to North Georgia College right now. And every time then I feel like I'm failing, I have to get up every morning. I say, I can't let her, fail. And I need to get up. And then sometimes I have to stay, so like that.
You're doing it almost every single day. I see you here. But give her a hand, y'all. I love that. So you know why you get her more, don't you?
Yes.
You know, it's very clear in your brain. Okay?
It's very
That's a motivator for you. Who else would share? That's a hard one to follow. Who else would share?
Come on, guys.
So it's a tough one, and I'll share. And it's tough for me because when you do the exercise about what I'm passionate about, what I love to do, and then you try to boil it down to what your big why is, you look at the others at the top and you go, well, that's superficial, that's superficial. So my big why is, I don't have my glasses, it's serving, and under serving, it's helping others gain wealth through real estate, coaching others, right? And then I have serving at my church, and then I have my family, serving my family. So just remember when I say serving, these are the 4 areas that I'm hitting. So my big why is serving with excellence, living my life on purpose, so that God is evident through everything that I do, which will cause others to want to live a life on purpose and to find their big why and to do it with excellence and bless this world. That's my big why. That's why I get up every day, because I understand who holds my future, and I understand that I want to please Him.
Anybody else? I'm
I don't
ready
know
to share.
if I can beat that, what Marjorie said, but I wrote that I want to become, my big why is to become a better version of myself every day, and to be a role model for my family and my kids. I want to be a parent, but I also want to be a role model, whether it's my husband, my friends, to show that you can be a mom, be a successful person, be a friend, be a wife, and you're not perfect. Also that you are not perfect. I'm not perfect, but I want everybody around me to see that, you know, I don't want to tell people what to do. I want them to see what I'm doing and, you know, and my.
Pretty good one. Anybody else? Reverend Sheriff, okay.
To lead and inspire others. That's what it all boils down to me, to lead and inspire others.
Okay, I love that one. Anybody else? Councilman Sheriff. You know, mine is easy. I just want to be a godly example of all that I need. That's it. That's it. He said, you know, godly example of all that I need, and you can figure out for you what that means. For me, that means everyone around me, including my family and my grandsons. One of my favorite things to do is to walk in a restaurant and see a server and smile and say, hey, Bill, how are you? I think you'll tell you nice to me. And guys, every time I do that, their face goes,
Yes, that's true.
it lights up.
Yes.
It lights up because I am paying attention to them. So guys, that is like one of my joys. And when I roll my grandsons, they go, what you did, Pop? So, you know, guys, that's mine. All right, guys, I want to challenge you to get your big why down to a sentence or less. Because yours could be serving others. Could be just that, okay? And your family. So get down to sentence. Because if you won't figure out what your big why is, then it'll be what was said, I get up in the morning, I know I gotta get up because my daughter, I gotta make sure she's taken care of. So if you can get your big why down, it will change the way you see everything. Because guys, get up in the morning and knowing that you have a purpose every single day. Now, I won't tell you I spring out of bed every single morning, I don't do that. But I'm up most mornings at 5:15 because that's just my routine, so I get up. And I love that I still get together. I love that, guys. So that, define that because it'll change the way you see business. It'll make you make that last phone call in the afternoon. You'll be tired of making phone calls. It'll be the reason that you get up and make sure that you take care of your family. Anybody want to share before we close? Kim, anything we left out? Guys, the market will get better. I mean, we're in Atlanta, Georgia. You know, one of the best places to live in the country. I mean, our economy is strong. We've got a lot to think along. The market will get better. But until that market gets to where you want it to be, I want you to have your unfair portion of the real estate market out there. I want you to have it. And you can do that. Because guys, I mean, we're still selling on real estate in this office. We're still leading the city in this office for real estate sales. Because you're not here making sales. If you're not, somebody else is. And I figure out your big why. It'll change the way that you see why you get up. I have no doubt that why you get up because I want to make sure I'm a good example for my family. I get up because I know, guys, if you work hard right now, you will do well. Anything we need to talk about? Anybody at all? Those of you that are here for the first time, welcome. Thank you for coming back or being here with us, guys, because you're the ones that got this morning and said, I don't make it here, I'm going to go to 2 weeks. Thank you all so much. Please, if you use one of the office pens, would you bring it back and put it right here? I'll tell you about that answer we use again. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Yay! Each of you guys.
Yes, guys, we're putting a little, light up, pins on your desk for Memorial Day.
That is great. Thank you very much.
It has a little, yep, we'll talk about.
That was awesome.